Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the Bridgeton Rotary Lunch Club. Am I loud enough for everyone?
That's good. Sounds good. That's good.
It is truly a pleasure to be here. I'm Josh Lowe. I live in Newport, which is only about 14 miles from here. I did some research on the Rotary when I found out I was coming here, and I must say, I like what the Rotary stands for. The things I saw included clean water and education, and it's quite ironic because I'm a part of an organization with similar goals. In fact, I can see similarities with the way they are organized. I am State Sentinel for the New Jersey FFA Association, which has more than 2,600 members from 37 chapters throughout New Jersey. This is one association out of 52 that make up the National FFA organization, which is made up of nearly 650,000 students across the country. The FFA makes a positive difference in the lives of students by developing their potential for premier leadership, personal growth, and career success through agricultural education. The FFA hosts leadership conferences and educational events, which are facilitated by elected leaders, which depending on the level could be chapter officers, state officers, or national officers. It is a very interesting and successful leadership ladder that encourages students to grow themselves. A major issue the FFA works to fix is world hunger, which is becoming increasingly difficult as the population is expected to grow to 9 billion by 2050. When I originally joined the FFA organization, I had no clue what I had just started. Let's go back to 5 years ago. I was only a freshman in high school, and I had a terrible mindset. I had decided that my best bet for getting through high school was to do as little as possible. So I had the most basic schedule I could possibly have. And then my brother's girlfriend, which is now his wife, convinced me to guess how many tomatoes were in a jar for this club she was in. I could win a t-shirt, so I tried it out. It turns out I was the closest guess, and I won the shirt. This shirt was the only thing that linked me to this organization at the time. But I figured, if I have a shirt, I might as well be a part of the club. So I basically just sat in the room during our study hall period and did whatever there was to do. And it turns out that was enough because when people started getting told to leave, I was told to stay. They saw my potential, I did not. I realized I should start to take things more seriously, and I asked what I could do at an event we call State Convention. It was an event that lasted a few days and seemed like a lot of fun. I was assigned a courtesy corps. My job was very important. I was assigned to block a door and ensure no one tried to open it. So I stood in front of the door for a couple of hours during the session, and I watched as the state officers up on stage spoke as if they were full-grown adults. But they weren't much older than me. The state officers on stage were extremely talented, but I didn't know who they were. At the end of the night, I finally received a challenge. A few kids, a little older than me, walked up to the door and asked to leave. I explained that this door was to remain closed. No one could enter. They tried every trick in the book to convince me to open that door, until finally, one of their friends walked up and asked what was going on. They explained. The kid responded with a shocking answer that looking back now, I'm thinking was a trick. But he said, "That door is locked." I didn't believe him at first, but he told me a background story, so I gave the door a tug, and then the other door. And I realized that I was basically stuck in the corner for the night. My entire journey through this organization looked a lot like this. I never stuck out as anybody special. I sat in the corner while everyone else was in the spotlight. Looking back at that night, I don't understand why. I watched that night as person after person went up on stage to receive a medal. But not once did this make me think I could do what they had done. I remember being motivated after the event, but I wasn't sure what I was motivated for. I feel that I was holding on to my mindset of doing as little as possible. I was in the FFA, but I wasn't involved. I even remember getting my blue corduroy jacket with my very own name on it. I wasn't excited. Every time I talked to my friends about the FFA, the blue jacket was a prime target for jokes, and I accepted everything they said as the truth instead of opening my eyes and seeing what it truly was all about. They didn't know anything about the FFA. They simply judged it, and I simply accepted it. This is something that happens throughout our lives. We have ideas, plans, and goals, but lose track of them because of what others say. And even crazier than that is the things we don't even see because we have blinded ourselves based on what others say. What we must do is open our eyes and figure out for ourselves. I'm not sure what happened to me. It sounds crazy, but I really don't know how I have done so much when I think back to my freshman year. I do remember the times in my life when I was inspired and motivated. And if you can take hold of those things, then your life will change. I started to realize that I had potential and that the FFA was filled with amazing opportunities, no matter what anyone else said. I started studying and looking for ways to become more engaged. I became chapter vice president and then chapter president. I won first place in a state competition, and I did quite well in a few more. My mindset changed so much, I began shooting for the stars, I guess, because I applied for my state degree, which is the highest degree our state association can bestow, and I got it. Then, my next big step that would change my life was running for state office, which is how I am able to stand up here in front of you all today. Way back when I was at the state convention watching the people on stage, I had no clue that they were state officers. I actually had no idea how much my life would change by getting elected as the 2016-2017 New Jersey State FFA Sentinel. But I went through training on leadership, teamwork, time management, and all the other abstract but very important life skills. I facilitated workshops to large groups of members, gave speeches to parents, teachers, and students. I sat face-to-face with legislators in Washington, D.C. to discuss policies. I gave a testimony at the National FFA Convention in front of delegates from across the country. And the absolute craziest thing I did was travel to South Africa for 2 weeks to study agriculture, history, and culture. An absolutely insane opportunity that I was able to participate in thanks to the support from my community and friends. I've prepared a slideshow to take you on this journey with me, but keep in mind that I almost didn't try for this position. I almost threw away this life-changing opportunity. We are capable of much more than we will ever know. So keep going and don't let anyone persuade you away from an opportunity. And remember, not all opportunities seem as great as they are at first. They might start out as a simple t-shirt. So if you look that way, it's going to make it a little complicated.